and started explaining his plan to promote. Like, bro, you a beast and a beat and it's B5-0. Can he see my NFT and a piece I sold? I don't really give a fuck what he thought. Like, no, finna bring the heat to the sheep just like, whoa. Influencers in my DMs who claim that they help but they tryna collect. Remind me of friends who have never supported, who stalk on my stories but never said shit. Y'all was so right, it's always a fight. Nice at rapping, but I'm broke with no likes. I'm always so hyped to overthrow mics and everybody talk, but there's almost no hike. I don't give a fuck, I'ma call it out. Ice cold, but I'm hot enough to thaw it out. This for everyone who ever believed back when wasn't much for us to talk about. Thankful for all of the people who invested in me, you really the GOAT. And fuck you to all of the influencers in my DMs who tryna promote. Like, yo, bro, I can promo, you got a double. Really like the project, and I wanna see it blow. So you should run with me and for a couple of ETH. Sell it out in a week, but then no riffing if I don't, though. What? The actual fuck? Bust on your offer like an actual nut. Killing everything if a natural to hunt. I don't really give a fuck what you actually want. Bet they would buy in if I owned an ape. Then they'd invite me to talk in their space. Bragging about how their community great when they profile pictures worth an estate. Only reason that the Twitter about it is the bag pump. Now the greedy motherfuckers out to getting amped up. Weren't you the one to worry about? All right, welcome into NFT Live. You already know what it is. We're bringing you the NFT news from around the industry. I've got some dope people in with me. Thank you, Louis C. Rhymes, for that beautiful intro. We're going no copyright, so we had to give my man a good shout out. I actually own that NFT too, so I'm just like patting myself on the back too. I've got Easy and Crypto, I've got Biggie Poppins, I've got Ronan the Collector in here today. Everybody, we are excited to have you in, man. It's bull market, bear market, we don't know, and that's the question we're gonna ask ourselves today. But I'm gonna go in clockwise order like we always do. Easy, what's going on, my man?
What up, what up? Super happy to be here. It was a little bit touch and go for a minute because the power went out in my hometown, so I had to jump over a town over. Tried the cafe. That internet was whack. So just on the side of the road, but I got a good connection, so I think we'll be good for the show. Just excited. We're in NFT NYC month, and just lots going on in general, you know. So exciting times, I think.
Biggie, what up? I'm peeping the hat, man. Oh, you're muted.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Question was, are we in a bear market?
Now, the question was, what are you up to?
Oh, man, just chilling. Just got back from LA this weekend. Went to the launch of Quantum Spaces. Really cool photography, IRL, co-working gallery space that just opened up on Thursday Promenade. If you're in the West Coast, check it out. Got a chance to mint one of Justin Alvarzano's Twin Flames doppelganger. So I'm wearing the shirt. And just chilling, getting ready for Austin and NYC. Happy to be here.
My man. And last but not least, of course, co-host.
What up, dude? It's been pretty chill for me. I actually took a little bit of time with the family this weekend, and it was my daughter's birthday, so that was really enjoyable. Got to celebrate that on Sunday. Spent some time away at the end of the week with some of like my real life friends. I still have a couple of those, and so we had an old school LAN party, which was a lot of fun. We played some video games. But outside of that, man, NFTs are NFTs. Things have been really interesting in the space. I think like there's been not so much like, exciting news, I guess. Like, we don't have any huge drops coming up. There's not any, floors that are pumping that are insane outside of, the goblins or whoever, elf towns or whatever. But outside of that, man, it's trying to figure out what's going on and what people are into and how we navigate what I don't think any of us can deny is probably a bear market. So.
Yeah, it's definitely interesting times in the NFT space right now. When you look across like total volumes, there's some not so familiar projects gracing the top of those charts, and it can be a little bit of a weird time, as I think we can all, like Ronan said, agree that we aren't a bear. You are also here joining us on NFT Live. Please leave a like or a sub if you like our pretty faces. If you also have some topics you want us to cover, we can pull them up on the screen. We can talk about whatever bags you want us to hit. No Rate My Bags here today. But I guess like let me throw out the first topic, because this was a tweet that came out earlier today from tmos.eth, and his tweet was, some people really bought wax NFTs, and I want to throw this directly to Ronan. This is a little bit of a slight at wax NFT buyers,
But it doesn't seem like he, in Arclegger's saying it right there, 2019, it was the best platform. OpenSea was a joke. A lot of us bought Wax NFTs, so I just want to put that slander there right up front, and I want to know what you have to think about, and I have to tell all the newbies about Wax.
Wax was a hell of a time in the space, man. I had a really good conversation with a friend, and we talked about like the first big drop, which was the Garbage Pail Kids, and we talked about how that was like this just really cool time because the packs were cheap. They were, $10 for a single pack, $25 for like what they called a mega pack. And what was really interesting is that they sold out in less than 24 hours. They didn't really expect to do that. And the next 2 weeks I spent like sleepless nights. And this is like a huge like part of the story is like, how I got into NFTs. And I literally, it was like 3-4 hours a night, right? And you're in Telegram because Telegram was where everybody was at the time. And we talked a lot about how the Wax almost like was brought up by the community. When you want to talk about really like, a community taking charge of like an entire project, right? You look back at those times, the community helped launch the marketplace. That's the main marketplace, which is Atomic Assets. At the time when you first bought these packs, you couldn't even, the only marketplace was Simple Assets, and you couldn't even filter by price. So if you wanted to buy an NFT on the secondary marketplace, you would have to scroll through every single page of your search results before you decided. So you had like a notepad and you'd have to write it down, and they didn't have mint numbers. That was something that the community actually ended up like implementing. Pack rips. It was a very unique ecosystem. I think that what's interesting is for him to say that now, because I think personally, we're going to see a resurgence of Wax. I think we'll see, these secondary chains that kind of, lost a lot of the luster when everybody was focused on, how do I turn $20 into 20 million, with every NFT that I buy. And I think a lot of people are looking for fun, and projects like Goblin Town are a really good example of how, you give something for free, the community likes it, and they can run with it, and they can really breathe life. You bring up the chart. What happened with Wax, I think ultimately was that, it's not super decentralized, right? And the people who effectively run that chain just don't, I feel like, put enough resources behind like launching these projects and keeping them updated and innovative, right? Like the primary secondary marketplaces, it's a decent experience, but not excellent. So yeah, we'll see. But I really do think we'll see a resurgence in these secondary, like people want to have fun again. And I think like that's what like this should be about, and I think that is one of the things we'll get out of this market.
So, and then a topper question to that is going to be, what chain are you tying your bag to, or what horse would you choose in that layer 1 or even layer 2 race that is going to be happening whenever we get a bull return?
I got into Wax. I mean, and yeah, let's see, I went over to a Telegram, which I hadn't been hanging out much in Telegram those days. I had already sort of gone through that Telegram phase in like 2017, 2018. But actually, Wax and Garbage Pail Kids is what kind of got me back over to Telegram, and really friendly communities. They like a couple people I had missed like the original drop and it was sold out, but people sent me some Garbage Pail Kids. It was just fun. Then we had like Street Fighter. I mean, there's been some cool drops over there. It feels like the cycle is pretty short as far as like around a drop, it'll be hyped, and then it really falls off pretty quick as far as like engagement and secondaries from my experience. But I haven't been on Wax like really consistently. But shout out to like really cool functionality where they have like these blends, and you can even blend with like other projects. So you've got the virtual graffiti battles, Street Gems, and then you've got like Love Handles and Skate Coin, and you're able to use like your Skate Coin wheels to like upgrade your graffiti and things like that. And for example, with Love Handles Skate Coin, like you can get cards that are a trick of a dude doing a skateboard trick, and then if you get a couple of those, you can blend it together and turn it into like a video or something. So there's really cool functionality over there. it's generally a lot more affordable than most other, chains that we play
in here as the if the bull market does ever return.
Well, I did get involved with Wax a long, long time ago. I'll be a little bit of a fudder here. I'm not a fan. I sold my bags earlier. Just the whole EOS ecosystem turned me off. I'm not very familiar. I don't know if they've changed to other protocols or anything, but no Wax for me. I'd say the two chains that I'm bullish on, aside from obvious ones, right, like Ethereum and Solana, would be Flow and Near. I think they are attracting some very hefty amounts of development activity and projects. And speaking of fun and functionality, also, I definitely think they will blow up in the coming bull market.
All right, it looks like the bear market's affecting our stream here. I think a lot of people had trouble here over the last 30 seconds. But I think if you refresh, you should be good. So I'll throw that question out to the chat and the rest of you guys, man. Let's say a bull market's, happening in July. We get a little bit of a turn. Macro environments are a little bit better. What chain are you tying your bag to there? If you had to choose one, you guys threw out a bunch, and I know you don't want to throw any FUD out there, but you have to choose one. What's the chain you're choosing if that does happen?
I think I'd probably run with Solana. I think we've seen what Solana can do, how the community has really stood behind it, even though it's had some issues, right? They've had issues when large mints happen where the chain gets bogged down and they've had to do some stuff. But I do think that and this is me, you guys know I don't play with tokens. I'm not the type of dude who's out here swapping coins and things like that. But I do look at them every once in a while, and I do know that Solana is down a pretty decent amount from the last time I looked at it. So that's probably where I would jump in. You know what I mean? I think Solana's got a lot of upside to it, and I think the more, it was $60 when I looked at it last time. So geez, 200. I mean, Solana's got room, right? So not financial advice per Easy's t-shirt, but that's probably where I'm looking at.
I think that's a pretty good call, probably. I actually need to get a little more into Solana because I've been on the peripheries for a while, slowly stacking a little in these dips. And I think I just recently got my first NFT on Solana. So that's something I'm definitely looking at. But if we really see the turnaround and bear market coming in, I've always kind of had my main spot on ETH, which I have, just very strong faith that is going to be one of the long-term granddaddies. It's not going anywhere. So even though I want to get more into Solana, if we have one choice, I'm just going to say granddaddy Ethereum.
And I second both my co-hosts' opinions. Definitely bullish on Solana, but if you're going to twist my arm, I'm going to do Ethereum. I think it is obviously a little more cost prohibitive for most people, but I'm also very bullish on the merge and ZK rollups, Arbitrum, all these side chains, including Polygon. I consider it a side chain of Ethereum. It's a no-brainer. I think that's where most of the value is going to be for some time. Oh, dang.
Might be muted.
All right.
That's a first.
That is, dude. It's been so long. It's been so fucking long. God damn it. Okay. Well,
you got you got your hands on a lot of controls, bro.
Listen, 0 days since the last incident. I'm choosing Polygon. That's all I was gonna say there. So Polygon would be mine. I like what they're doing, especially in the gaming environment as well. They actually locked in a pretty big announcement here recently, and they brought over the head of, I believe, YouTube Gaming as well. I think that was an announcement made a couple months ago. So yeah, really excited for all the chains you guys mentioned. Let's get into the chat a little bit. And if you guys are want to hit the chat at any point, you can twist my arm there as well. Marty McFly saying ETH Maxi at this point. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say while you're checking the chat, nobody mentioned Tezos. I would be just interested in hearing what your guys' thoughts are on Tez. It kind of had a little a peak there. I mean, for token, it hit like 5 or something. But there's been more like games and stuff coming out on Tezos as well. I'd just be interested to hear your guys' thoughts. I think there's some good possibility for runway there.
I love Tezos Easy, especially for generative art projects. I think they are very, very strong, right up there with, the Squiggle people. Also, they do have, I've seen them launch a couple of cool PFP projects, and the community is just strong, right? I mean, they've been around, they've been shipping. I think Tezos is a good bet especially in the NFT world.
Yeah, I really like Tezos. I still collect a ton of art there. Like I really haven't collected anything outside of art. And for me, like I collect art and I keep art. So that's really been my only experience. I do feel like, just generally speaking, like the conversation around it has like died off a lot. And I don't know. I feel like, for me personally, maybe it's just like because I am a collector, not so much like a direct artist, or not so much in like the weeds of NFTs and secondary chains. But I do feel like ever since the whole Hickett Nunk thing happened, and that guy kind of like, shut the site down, and the community had to like revive it, I feel like that it's been a little more or less, active.
Yeah, I want to get to a little bit of the chat here. Going back to the start, since we didn't actually get to it in the beginning, we got a lot of our vibe, our tribes. Of course, we are on NFT Live. We are on the LADZ City Network channel. That is like the mantra and our rally cry, man. So definitely like seeing those in the chat. Hash Rhymes, DJ Savage, Mylene, Prodigy, Jacob Gooden. We got Alien River, Hash Rhymes. Everybody's blowing up the chat right now. I see a lot of pieces here. Deck is saying Solana is down every 2 weeks. He-Man is saying I love Tez. Deck is saying Polygon, and Peter Q is saying Soul Summer Baby. So a lot of interesting chat insights. We do have a poll going right now that says, "Are you going to NFT NYC?" And I guess let's transition a little bit of that talk. We might come back to the bear market, bull market stuff, but what are you guys doing for NFT NYC? And where are you guys going to find the info? Just give me a quick rundown of what you guys got planned.
I'll jump in. I will be speaking again this year on a music panel. And then there's so many things that go on. It's literally hard to like choose where you're gonna go. I generally kind of like make a little bit of plans. Like I'll grab tickets for some different events that I think are going to be, really awesome. And then I throw everything out the window and just roll with my homies. But I definitely do want to go to the Cyber Brokers costume party. Cypher is going to be doing an event. We're going to have the party rap bus back. And then we're going to cruise around doing the rapping, picking people up. And then we're going to end up at a spot where it'll be bigger and other, kind of, collabing with some other events there. The Colby karaoke, I went to that last year. It was super fun. Just a bunch of killer, OGs hanging and singing karaoke. So that's a must. And I don't know if there's going to be like an amazing secret jazz concert like there was last year. So if that happens, I definitely want to get in there with the Jack's Jazz hookup. But yeah, I usually try and play it kind of by ear. I'll like pick like 3 or 4 things I want to hit, and then like hopefully get to them. But it's incredible. Just seeing all you guys is like one of the most, best parts about that, is hooking up with people and getting to look them in the eye and, have a coffee or have a lunch or have a smoke or a drink and just hang.
Yeah, we got to see the Beeple piece last year together, Easy. That was dope.
That was dope, yeah.
Heck yeah. Well, I'm looking at my calendar here. I'm really looking forward to Proof and Moonbirds meetup. Huxley, always a blast. And then also a little more of more an obscure project. I don't know if you guys are familiar with it. It's called Megapont Apes. They are on Stacks, which is like a Bitcoin sidechain, if you will. They're doing some really interesting stuff. Have launched some stuff in Ethereum as well. And Lums from the Flow protocol also looks like it's going to be a fun time. But yeah, this time I skipped the whole event ticket, and I'm just going to be hanging out with people and I like. Also, the Meta Factory is going to have a really cool event during the weekend on Loom Studio. That's just going to be awesome, man. I'll see you there, Easy. Yeah, for
Gotta
sure.
hit that. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I'm same thing as these guys. Like, I'm just loading up on, like, I've booked, as many. If somebody DMs me an RSVP, I'm signing it, and then I'm passing it on to the homies and making sure everybody gets signed up for whatever is going on. I do know that Cyber Brokers is a huge one for me. Which Easy, how are you getting your outfit there? Like, I'm trying to figure out what am I gonna wear. Like, I could go with like my Cyber Broker that's just got a shirt off. I don't really know if I can pull that. So we'll see. But definitely doing Cyber Brokers. There's NFT which looks really dope, thrown by Block Party. It's going to be on that Monday, the 20th. They're literally throwing a block party. They rented out like an 8-theater theater, and it's got 8 different rooms inside. They're theming each room. They're going to have all types of stuff going on.
Damn.
Huxley, there's I signed up for the Blau event. Yeah, man, there's a ton, dude. And it looks like it's going to be a good time as far as events. And then during the day, it's I'll be speaking at the event. Easy, are you on a panel? Do you know that for a fact? Because like I still have zero information about speaking at the event.
Everybody's hating on NFT NYC right now.
But I'm
man.
like, I don't know if I actually have a panel. And if I have a panel, am I supposed to get my own people? Because if so, I've got 2 weeks.
You might be out.
I did get a confirmation like a couple months ago
that you're speaking.
Was like, yes, you'll be speaking at the music panel or music on the blockchain panel, I think. And then I haven't received, like last year I did get around this time an email with the other speakers, and we were able to like kind of have a little chat. Not yet this year. Sounds like the after parties are going, or the peripheral events are going huge this year. It's gonna be crazy. But yeah, I'm assuming that it'll be kind of last minute. I mean, I just show up and talk like whatever I feel like talking about, and just say my truth. So I'll say what I need to say either way. But last year there was a document that was circulated. I think it wound up getting on Twitter that had like a list of almost all the events. I haven't seen one this year, so if anybody catches that, shoot it my way.
I know that gift
shout out.
Yeah, go ahead.
Shout out to Nifty Castle. If you're not following Nifty Castle, hop onto Twitter right now. Nifty Castle is putting together an event list that has super detailed. It's a spreadsheet that you can jump into. They're adding to it constantly. I think that might be it. Yeah, the ultimate satellite list. I mean, look at this, dude. Nice. It's broken up times, where they're going to be, like who's the contact, how do you sign up?
Oh my God.
If you want to talk about a community member that doesn't get enough love, GiftEd does so much work for the community. It's ridiculous. I do want to also throw out that shout out to Florian from the early LADZ community. He shot me an invite to the Drippies party, so I'll be going to the Drippies party as well. And yeah, man, it's gonna be a good time. But during the day, it's speaking at the event. I'm actually gonna be speaking about mental health and burnout in the space, which is really like an important topic to me.
Nice.
Super important, bro.
Super important. It's a really important conversation. I did a really great interview with the NFT NYC team last week, where we talked a little bit about that conversation. And then I'm actually doing a follow-up event at the Web3 Lounge, which is being thrown by Nifty Gateway, where we're going to have a couple hours carved out for kind of a in-person Clubhouse, Twitter Spaces vibe for people to come in, sit down. We'll have a couple speakers who will talk a little bit about their mental health struggles and the things that they do to combat that. And we're going to have an open floor to kind of just chit chat about, what everybody's up to, what the people who are attending, may need help with. And just a safe space, man. I think that a lot of us really appreciated having that when we were in, the time of COVID. It's why I think Clubhouse and Twitter Spaces really kind of got as much push as they did, and why they were so detrimental to, the NFT boom and everything else that happened during that time. And I think like people miss that. And I see a lot of like our peers struggling every single day, on Twitter, and some of them are not vocal, and some of them kind of like say, hey, I'm struggling. And some of them are like, yo, this is like, I'm having a lot of issues in life right now because of the way like, the market is or whatever. And I want people to know, like, you're not the only one. There's millions of us out here dealing with it, and it's okay to talk about it. You know what I mean? So that's the conversation I'll be having. There will be a follow-up event at, the Web3 Lounge. Definitely hope I get to see some lads who are coming out, come and hang with us.
Yeah, we have one
huge props, bro.
We have one lad here in the comment, Xbox, saying Easy's gonna rug. I don't know what that's related to, Easy. I don't know. Xbox calling you out, brother.
Magic carpet ride. I don't know. Maybe I might rug some fools trying to get all corporate up on stage.
Sheesh. Guys, we are in the midst of our discussion. I did just link GIFs and Nifty Castle's event calendar there, and kind of the layout, like a full page. Big shout out to GIF and Nifty Castle there in Web3. Their like daily morning show that starts at 11 a.m. Eastern time. Big shout out to Easy too. Easy, you want to give a little bit of an Easy Street shout out for those people who are just tuning into NFT Live and want to know what's going on?
Yeah. Come, we got Easy Street has switched over from the Discord show to Twitter Spaces, and we've been doing it for a month or so, a little bit like the craft small, but awesome conversation. So Thursdays, 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 Eastern, come on over to the NFT Live and hang out on Easy Street. Always have a great time, and just want to get that room pumping a little more. So yeah, our vibe, our tribe, hit up Easy Street.
Absolutely, guys. All right, last things on NFT NYC. If anybody has them, feel free to say it right now. Also, Nick Swervis was in the chat saying that he wonders how much a Greyhound from Vegas to NY. Dude, come on, you can't be that down and out. We know it's a bear market, but you cannot be that down and out here. That you got to take a Greyhound. But any last thoughts on NFT NYC, guys, before we transition?
I'll say
it's going to be a blast.
It's my first time, so I'm looking forward to it, man. I hope I have enough energy, man. I'm getting old. Last time I've been to others, like day 3, day 4, my voice goes out. I'm just like, dude, I can't hang. So if you see me around, help me out.
Love it.
Tricks of the trade. Swap shoes every day. Make sure you bring an extra pair of shoes because it's a lot of walking. So every other day I switch my shoes. Big help.
Thank you.
I'll give you 2 more tips. Yeah, for sure. 2 more tips for anyone who's new to this type of thing. One is like prepare. And what I mean by that is like make sure you're hydrating a ton going into the event. Make sure you're getting a good amount of sleep. Make sure like you've got a list for all the stuff you want to pack. This is not a trip where you want to land in New York and realize that you forgot like your medicine that helps you function daily, right? So like definitely make sure that's number 1. Number 2 is there is not in my opinion, the most important thing for anyone going to these events, especially if you have goals of getting into the space, is networking. Network. Get out of your comfort zone. Don't just go to places that you know everybody. Don't go and hang out in a new place and not talk to people. You have no idea. I was standing next to this guy in a hoodie and some jeans, and I'm just chilling in Miami, and he starts talking to me about my sweatshirt. We're talking about NFTs. And the guy walks away, and my buddy's like, "Did you know that's like the president of," and I can't remember the company. I think it was like US Skateboards or something like that. But it's like a multi-million-dollar company. No idea. You know what I mean? You have no clue who you're going to be standing next to. You have no clue what opportunities can open up when you're in this place, in this environment. So meet all the people you can, shake all the hands. I had a 15-minute business meeting with a guy from Twitch that happened on an elevator that ended up us sitting on the floor in his hotel hallway chatting about NFTs for 15 minutes. So like you never know what you're going to get into, but take advantage of it. Go with the flow. Like Easy said, plan ahead. But like once you get there, like just have a good time and know that like, you're in a very, very special place at a very special time.
Absolutely,
Cool.
guys.
Facts.
Great comments on NFT NYC. I feel like we did them more justice than they're doing themselves right now with the lack of customer support. Get it together. We're not going to be able to get the NFT space together right now. This is the total volume here in the last 24 hours. And as you can see, the top 10 looks it's getting better, but at points this just doesn't look like it should. We are all going to die is number 2. Goblin Town's still sitting up there in the top 10 volume. No idea what some of these projects are anyways, but we will get into this next topic that we want to kind of show you guys, which is WAG. Let me make sure I'm getting this right. WAGDIE. So not WAG me, but WAGDIE was a project that launched, or at least started their Twitter profile within the last 7 days. Floor is sitting at about 1.3 ETH. Not sure what the initial price was, or if it was a free mint, but the big story is that they burned this mutant ape. So they sent a mutant ape to a burn address here. As you can see, like as their pinned tweet, that's sitting at somewhere in the vicinity of 20K ish, give or take. Maybe I'm wrong. But we see this project, no website, Twitter and contract only, free mint, and it's sitting at 1.4 ETH. So this is the story of the day, fellas. I don't know what to tell you. We live in a weird environment right now, yeah. So I'll throw it out there. I think that the burning of the mutant ape was a good marketing tactic. They spent a lot on it. Clearly, that's like, again, around 20K for this marketing tactic, but it has us talking about them, and it has them at 1.4 ETH. I mean, that's not the only reason, but it definitely is one of them. So your thoughts, guys, on WAGDIE?
Interesting. I don't know what, like, it's wacky out there right now. People are like just grasping, I think. And if it was a free mint, I guess that's, something that's now in the kind of forefront of people's minds is, oh, you can get this free mint, and then it could wind up being worth, X amount of money. For me, unless I was taking like the advice that I think I saw here on the show the other day, which was great, and starting just a burner wallet to do a free mint from, especially if it's a project that's a week old, don't know anything about the team or creator behind it and stuff, I'm just not going to link my wallet to that unless I've just created like a burner. Yeah, it's like wacky out there. I don't know. I guess, burning the mutant got them, some attention. So good move there. Versus, I guess, trying to say, oh, we're going to give away this, mutant to one of the minters or something like that. Yeah, it's just it feels like a kind of wacky time with some of this free mint stuff with just, like not really any background, and people are dropping that much on a secondary. It's, I think all I can say is interesting.
Dekenza's saying, what a waste of money. And I definitely concur that we're grasping right now in this space. Like, this is a grasp of a story. So I'll put that out there. But I want to get your take, Roded, and Biggie as well, as you guys don't look too enthused about the story.
Yeah, it smells like of desperation, no? It smells of desperation, and you gotta be very careful because there's very savvy people, online marketers. If you're even, slightly familiar with affiliate marketers, that there are some people out there that can really engineer viral things out of thin air. They're very capable at it. But again, in my opinion, it's too early, and it's not worth the risk to me. I like to see doxed founders, strong community, and these things that are popping out like gremlins left and right. It just smells of desperation, and obviously they're preying on people that have not yet mastered the subtle art of not letting FOMO get to their head.
Mm-hmm.
It's funny because I have like a love-hate with this situation. I genuinely can appreciate like the marketing. I genuinely can appreciate putting something out there, right, that kind of like just takes off. The fact that it's a free mint is kind of cool. Although I'm still of like, I still get weary just of like security, right? Like, just like, you know, is it worth like minting this thing that's free? Like, is it worth like putting that out there? And in some cases it is. And I think that like where I get conflicted personally is that I think there's absolutely a place where like this is the type of thing that should happen. Like, we're all gonna die, to me, is you know, this really cool approach to marketing and you know, just giving a vibe, but like at the same time, like there's no information there, right? Like, it's like, and I personally can't like invest in something that like just doesn't have the transparency on that side of things, right? Like, at the very least, like, let me know who's behind it, like, you know, or that there is a purpose, maybe, I don't know, like it's where we get conflicted between collectibles and like investments, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, I've done a few free mints, nothing real recent, but for me, it just like Ronan was talking about, who's behind the project, what kind of, you know, community is there. So just coming kind of out of nowhere, like when I see a free mint, I always kind of ask myself, why is it free? Like, you know, if you have a project that you've been building and you know, you really think there's some value there, generally you charge something for that, even if it's just, you know, 0.01 or 0.005, whatever, you know, it could be dirt cheap. It just, there's something psychologically there that when I see that free mint, I'm like there's just a little alarm bell that goes off. Like, if there's value here to be had, you know, why would it be free? On the other, historically, things like apes were a free mint, and they're, you know, incredible.
Yeah, I think we lost Easy a little bit there. You there, man?
Okay, I'm back. Sorry, guys, got a little rugged there, and wasn't sure if someone else might have been kind of taken over. But yeah, I think there's, you know, there's definitely cool projects that have done free mints. You know, Punks right at the very, you know, very beginning, free mint, and I think that was, you know, not to, you know, capture some kind of hype and like, you know, get it pumped out and out there and then make money on the secondaries or something like that. So that was just something that was genuinely creative, being given to the community. So, you know, it's just something that, I don't know, I have mixed feelings on, but I have very strong feelings on when something just comes out of the blue completely with no information and it's a free mint. I'm probably not going to be participating.
There's an interesting thing here that someone brought up maybe last week of Goblin Town and now WAGDIE. Like, all of these projects now like have the theme of like, I don't want to say negativity, but they're not cool cats, they're not doodles, and if they're taking on like some type of manifestation from where we're at in the market right now, and people are gravitating towards those, it's there. I don't know. I'm definitely grasping at stories here. I want to give a quick shout out to Franklin. This can't be Franklin, right? 0.004 ETH profit. Like, there's no way. This has to be a joke.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah, he definitely well, you know, that's clever, you know, marketing.
Yeah. All right. Any last thoughts on WAGDIE? I know we were, again, looking at that story and kind of all shaking our heads. The only other piece there that I wanted to kind of get to was Savage was mentioning that this burn address actually belongs to someone. He says someone owns that wallet. I doubt it's a real burn address. I think there was something as well that went along with actually sending your NFT to this address.
I responded. I think that's the official like burn address. If you look at it, it's like the one that's got all zeros, everything zeroed out. So if you send it to it, like, yeah, I think that's like the official like Ethereum burn address where like the keys and everything were burned as well. So like nobody technically should have access to that wallet. So like when you burn something, I think that's the wallet you send it to.
I love when this happens. Young Content is saying OpenSea has delisted WAGDIE for self-harm, apparently.
Whoa.
That's
I
quick.
saw a second ago on your Twitter just now that someone shared a screenshot where it said it was delisted, and I just assumed that was like something else, but you literally just had it pulled up.
let me check.
That's really interesting. What about the other one? What about the one where the dude said, what was it, Minted or I'll do it or whatever, where he's holding his penis hostage?
Oh
I can't believe I
yeah.
just said that
This is
shit
what
out
we
loud.
do on a daily basis.
Yes.
God.
NFT Live.
I was like,
OBOT.
I was trying to avoid saying it out loud, but I did it anyway.
Dude. All for the lols.
It looks like this might be true. Young Content coming through with the fire update here. Just got delisted. This is always a great discussion
10 minutes.
too.
He
Man.
said
it's,
it's
where
been
does
pulled back up though.
Oh really?
Yeah, I said that they've it's like reinstallated. I'll say this, man. Like the art seems kind of cool, and like I don't know, like this is where I just wish we knew who the hell was behind it, so I didn't. You know, it's just like I don't need anything huge. Just let me know that you're people who are going to do something. Like Postmint, right? Like if you got in on the free mint, who cares? Right? Yeah, like exactly, like something along those ways, because the art's kind of cool, and like you know, I actually had a great conversation with a coworker, and we were talking about just like what made, you know, what was the other one, the town, the Goblin Town, like pop off, and I think part of it is that air of mystery, right? Like you're not sure what is going on with this project, and they're slowly releasing things to get you engaged, and that allows you to, and allows the community to kind of have a lot of fun with that. And I think that it does give a really cool ability to engage. I just wish we were doing it on a bit more transparent, like, you know, because I can't go and buy into this project now, right? Like, and I don't think anybody should buy into a project like after it's already pumped to the point of being an ETH, right? Like it's like, if it's free and you're paying, you know, $50, it's one thing. When you get into thousands of dollars, it's like, you got to show me some type of reasoning for this, you know, like I can't just willy-nilly just do it because these guys are tweeting things. So I think there's a place for these types of projects. I just think that regardless, they do need like more transparency. Yeah, I mean, like, or flow, right? Like, or like, you know, any like, I think like low cost. I think the point here is that like NFTs don't always have to be sold to like have value, right? The value from these projects doesn't come from the NFT itself. It's coming from the storytelling that's going on. It's coming from the community being able to take part and experience this thing, right? Like it's every, you know, what is it? The goblins, every day, a new portrait unveiled. So there's like something every day for you to be involved in, which creates community. And so I think it makes a lot of sense. Engagement. Exactly.
What's hilarious about these projects too is that they're both like leaning into being these like outcasts. Like you see, like, not gonna lie, WAGDIE getting delisted makes me want to buy one. Like that's on brand for them. And they love that. Yep. It's same thing for Goblin Town. Every time you make fun of Goblin Town, the goblins get stronger. Like that's like somehow their narrative. So it's
forbidden NFTs.
I would love to see something with similar kind of rollout, but with, you know, at least someone on the team being, you know, we don't need to know their government name or anything, but somewhat doxed, you know, to know somebody, the, you know, one or two people that are involved, but do this mystery slow drip, like, you know, nobody really knows what's going to happen. That I could get on board with because it's just fun, interesting, you know, different style of engagement. But like, you know, having it just be the free mint, totally anonymous, you don't know, you know, anything about it, that makes it a lot harder for me. And I feel like it's easy to prey on the newer people with using this FOMO hype cycle. And then, you know, if it winds up being a rug, you're rugging a bunch of people that, you know, are new to the space and are going to turn them off on it for the long run, or for, you know, it takes a while to recover from that. So it's interesting stuff. Would like to see kind of this worked into a more, I don't know, legitimate drop or something.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
Yeah, I love that. I'm just kind of going through the kind of update here, fellas. So yeah, chime in whenever you can. I want to give a quick shout out to He-Man. He said, "Got to run. We'll watch the replay later. Much love, friends." Shout out to everybody in the chat that's kind of taking part in the NFT Live episode today, man. You guys are awesome for participating in the live episode. I don't have too much more on this kind of subject. We know that it's kind of the environment that we're in right now, and this is what's kind of popping off in general. That's like the narrative right now, free mints that are going to lean into some kind of weird narrative. I guess where I kind of want to transition that real quick, if I could, and I want the chat to take part as well. What resources are you guys using on a daily and weekly basis? Like, that's kind of cut and dry question. Like, if you're tracking NFT drops or you're following certain people, like where are you guys, going to, and what tools are you using on a daily and weekly basis? I feel like that might be able to help people out in the chat or that are watching afterwards.
I definitely say check out IC Tools. I didn't realize, actually, I just found this out over the weekend because I was watching a project. You can, just with IC Tools is like a lot of the other tracking tools where you can get an NFT that unlocks a premium version and all that stuff. However, it's got a lot of functionality at the base level, one of which is being able to set alerts for price points, right? So like I went to, I think it was like the Moonbird oddities. And I set it to alert me if the price dropped below, 2.5 or something, which is where I was like, I'm willing to spend that on it. And it was super easy to set up, really like straightforward. And that's a powerful tool. So I'm starting to use IC Tools a little bit more. And Twitter, having alerts on for people that I trust their opinion and I know that they're kind of typically like keeping up with things. I have those alerts on. So those are just a couple things I do.
I will link that.
Yep, definitely Twitter. Daily. Discord obviously is another great tool to stay connected with your communities and catch content. Alpha. I do kind of check in on a couple of the. I'm blanking on the name, but there's a couple of them that are basically the drop calendars. I'll go peek over there. I have been, sometimes I'll check the rarity sniper things if I'm looking at a specific drop or a specific secondary. Obviously take a look at OpenSea pretty frequently. On just a little side note here, I'm not sure how many people know about this, but there's a project, and this is actually going into hardware. So Lago, LAGO, I had them on Easy's Corner last night, and they're producing an incredible screen. So it's like a big display. It's got, it can read your metadata and all this. It's got like cameras, so you can like control it with movement to do like change frames. It's got like light. It's got all these sensors. So basically you can have it react to, and it reminded me kind of async, that you can have it react to like pricing or lighting or like tied to the weather and all these different things. So for years that's it. Had been talking about really wanting a nice display frame that has like some cool operability instead of just like using a TV and airdropping or whatever your NFTs up there. So that was something that I got like the deep dive on last night, and they've been working on this for couple years at least. And it was really, really, I was super impressed. I think they're announcing the mint date today for their like Genesis mint that gives you like the ability to redeem one of these frames, and then like a possibility at maybe winning one of their like version 2s, getting entered into like raffles to go to like crazy travel destinations to see like really cool installations and stuff. So I just wanted to bring that up because it was something that I hadn't heard much about until I had them on the show, and then it just blew my mind.
Really cool. I'm dropping this one as well, Easy. Looks like there's a Lago pass on OpenSea right now that I've got pulled up, but floor price of 26 ETH as well. I don't know if this is like official or what.
I think that's a fake one because I don't believe they're available yet. They were going to announce the drop today, but it's probably a couple weeks out. So yeah, that's probably a fake collection. Is it on their
Yeah,
I think
actual site?
no, I think they launched a pass. I think they did launch a pass. But yeah.
Okay.
So I think that's the collection. I just think that there's not very many minted. I think they paused the minting maybe. And you know, it's like a private mint and then like maybe a public mint. It definitely minted some though. So I think like what Q pulled up was correct. But I don't know what all the details are of the drop. But yeah, the logo screens are really dope. They actually had them. I think they're going to have them again in New York. So worth checking out.
All right, Biggie, your turn, man. Resources. I need to know, what are you doing on the daily, on the weekly to keep up with the NFT space?
Honestly, not too different from my co-host here. Obviously, start with socials, always with my Discord groups, my Telegram, Twitter, obviously. And then from there, yeah, I go into some analytics tools that I like to use. Kind of like Mythia, it's pretty nice. Premint, obviously, always. And IC tools I use as well. NFT Nerds and Flips Finance, I like a lot. Those are the ones that I feel like I keep going back to.
Awesome. I'll try to link all of those here in the chat. Of course, you guys can find these on your own as well. We are gonna. I mean, we're coming up to the end of the episode. I think it's been a good one. We did have one last like Twitter announcement that we kind of talked about here. That could potentially throw the larger and broader crypto space into a little bit of a whirlwind. Follow me if you can down this rabbit hole. But we got a tweet thread from an account called Dying Nobody, Dear Crypto. And it goes on to talk about how this individual, has, I don't know if it's cancer or what, but doesn't have time left. So they don't really, see any qualms with holding back in a sense. And they've essentially, what they're talking about is they've been able to hack Telegram messages going back to October of 2019. Telegram group messages, and that was primarily a place where crypto, and it's still to this day, is a place where a lot of people in crypto are messaging. He essentially said that he got into these private messages of high net worth individuals, high influenced individuals into the space, and that he's going to be releasing all of the messages beginning, and let me make sure I get this correct, here on June 15th. So on June 15th, crypto influencers ranging from as little as 800 followers to as much as 1 million followers, discussions pertaining to racism, homophobia, adultery, sexual assault. And then June 30th, project creators in the top 200 market cap projects, from yield farming projects to stable coins to automated market makers, all designed from the start to siphon funds from the majority of users. So essentially what we have here is like some type of scorched earth event where he's going to come out with this big archive of damning messages from a lot of the top individuals in the space. And this recently came out, I think, 15 hours ago. So you can see 6,000 retweets, 5,000 quote tweets, 15.4K likes. It's essentially being picked up. It's a viral tweet. Don't know if it's complete psyops or if it's actually going to happen. Does it have any effect on the space? And definitely want to give a quick shout out to Marty McFly, who first sent me this message this morning. So, guys, kind of a ridiculous almost episode we've had today, talking about WAGDIE burning mutant apes, and now we've got a man talking about, or a man or a woman, who's talking about coming out and going scorched earth on people and founders in the space. What do you guys make of this?
Bluff. I say it's a bluff. I think if you actually had that data and you really wanted to make a play for raising funds for whatever reason you want, you wouldn't do it on social media. Why would you expose yourself that way and make yourself maybe a little more easy to track? I mean, everybody's trying to find out who you are now. I think if you were actually the type of people to do that, you would go about it in a much more hushed way, right? And try to extract as much value as possible. So I'm calling it a bluff, but hey, let's see what happens.
Right. It'll be interesting if this is actually, if they're just, straight up telling it as it is and they have all this, it will be quite an interesting ride to see it drop, and that could affect projects for sure. But I'm kind of leaning more towards it just being some kind of hype building marketing thing. I don't know. It's you know, wouldn't you give at least a little bit of like proof instead of just saying I have, you know, all like I have dirt on everybody, but I'm gonna share it like later. You know, so like that's a little red flag to me that they're, you know, I mean, obviously it's already taken off, so it's working, right? And in this kind of down market, we were just talking about people being attracted to kind of that kind of negative vibe that is, you know, that sometimes you can take and turn around and have fun with. But this is just kind of feels like another layer to like the bear footage, or I don't know. It's tough to call because it's just a tweet. Like,
I have to get to the comments here. Some amazing comments are coming through. Llama's saying release it already. Keck. Cost Effective is saying this is a weird LARP in my opinion. Don't look for me. I'm already dead. Prodigy saying this dude is about to release a hell and drop of a manifesto. Dickens is saying scary if true. Llama saying cheap psyops, and then Xplow following up. They're going to release the secret convo of Ronan loving Lindsay Lohan. Yes, sir.
Mm-hmm.
That conversation will never come out because it never happened. But I will shout out Dickens's. Do any groups currently use Telegram? Was there a time when Telegram was used instead of Discord? Do any groups currently use Telegram? Yeah, I was actually really surprised to hear like a couple of people tell me recently they still use Telegram for projects. And then
Because
was there a
Discord
time?
sucks.
Yeah, when we first got into this space like 2 years ago, nobody used Discord. Everybody used Telegram. And it was crazy. So yeah, but we've shifted a couple times. As far as like the message itself, this is the weirdest freaking, you know, industry I've ever been in, dude. Like you wake up and you never know who's going to be threatened, what bomb's going to drop, like what, what chain is going to collapse, what stable coin is going to go under. Like we lived through some crazy shit, man. But I don't know.
It has been one of those episodes for sure. There's a lot of conspiracy theories and weirdness happening in the space right now. I mean, keep the comments coming, guys. We're wrapping up the episode actually, 311 here, but that will be let me go back, June 15th, I believe. And you know, you take this to an eventual conclusion that it might be true. This could have an effect on a lot of different projects in the space. I mean, we're small enough where things like this could have a large effect on, you know, the broader market in crypto, not just NFTs. So it could also be psyops.
If it's true,
who the fuck knows?
If it winds up being true and there's some real nasty dirt on some of the founders of some early big projects, so then you'd have the mainstream gobble it up and it could nuke stuff. It would be a pretty tough recovery if you say, like, look, founders from these early super successful projects are having racist orgies in their private jets or whatever is the, like, you know, claim there. That would mess some stuff up for a bit. But, you know, just like there's people like that everywhere. Look at our politicians. Look at like the corporatocracy and the technocracy that we already live with. All these people are like crazy psychos, greedy as all get out. So if there's some of those people in the crypto space, I'm not shocked. Yeah. Like we got a lot of good people over here, you know, so.
Facts. Ronan and Biggie, any last thoughts before we get up out of here, man? You guys have been great today, but I do want to get any last thoughts on the orgies on private jets, if you do have any.
No, man, stay safe. Don't fall for the FOMO. Be patient, and you know, keep your eye on like the good projects, the ones that you see perform. Because I think down the line you might get a chance to actually acquire those, and you can be very happy.
All right, take us out, Ronan.
We appreciate you guys. Don't forget to hit the like button. If you enjoyed the content, hit subscribe. Tell your friends about NFT Live. We're here Tuesdays, Fridays. And outside of that, that's our vibe, our tribe. We'll see you guys next week.
See you guys.
OVOT.
JP Morgan, Chase, you mother... You come spend my own money? People want to spend money in different countries. You realize that, right? It's 2022, you... So can you fucking do something about it? Or are you gonna put a flag on people's accounts every time they want to buy a fucking ball? Oh, he's gonna buy a fucking gumball, breaking the bank. Let me put a flag for your protection. You guys fucking dick. Oh my god. And I know people in the comments are gonna be like, must be nice. First world problems. Yeah, it is. Suck my dick. It's none of your fucking business, okay? Shut the fuck up. Have a great night. Except you, JP Morgan. Even that name just triggers me, motherfuckers. Probably a bunch of racist bitches.
Really the GOAT. And fuck you to all of the influencers in my DMs who tryna promote. Like, yo, bro, I can promo, you got a dumb blow. Really like the project, I don't wanna see it blow. So you should run with me and for a couple of eats. I'll sell it out in a week, but ain't no riffing if I don't, though. What? The actual fuck? Bust on your offer like an actual nut. Killing everything if a natural hunt. I don't really give a fuck what you actually want. Bet they would buy in if I owned an ape. Then they'd invite me to talk in their space. Bragging about how their community great when they profile picture is worth an estate. Only reason that the Twitter battle is the bag pump. Now the gritty motherfuckers out of getting amped up. Weren't you the one to worry about it when the brands come? Look into your wallet and you holding every damn one. I don't give a fuck, I'ma call it out. Ice cold, but I'm hot enough to thaw it out. This for everyone who ever believe. Back when wasn't much for us to talk about. Thankful for all of the people who invested in me, you really the GOAT. And fuck you to all of the influencers in my DMs who tryna promote.